This installation to finish this installation off in Holland, and I've had a few thoughts on how to wire it. Originally I was proposing using one inverter as a charger and one as a discharger, but I was thinking a little bit about it and the way it would operate, and I'm going to configure it slightly differently, I think. So I was thinking about the configuration. Originally we were going to use the upper inverter to charge the batteries, and the lower one, the three-phase, to discharge the batteries. And I thought about this, and because we've got to reconfigure the whole consumer unit, I think there's a better way to do this. They've got a permanent mains. They haven't put the solar panels on it yet. So what I'm thinking about is we move the CT coil onto the grid, and we use this one as a load shaving. So we configure it. If the power is low, then it will charge the battery. If you have a high demand, because it's only got a low feed, I think it's got a 16 amp feed, 15 amp feed. So if the current goes above, say 10 amps, then this one will start discharging, because this is quite big. So we've got 40 amps available through this inverter, and we've got 50 amps here. So we've got a massive, and plus the 15 off the side, which is bigger than what most houses have got. So we've got a huge reservoir. So I just think we configure it a little bit differently. We'll change on this one, the only thing is, because we're going to use it as load shaving, then it will be grid tied, it'll be AC coupled. However, what we can do, once the solar panels are installed and they've got another source, we can put a changeover switch. Yeah. So they can use a changeover switch onto the load on here, and then we switch the whole panel can go onto the load or off the grid. So we can have the best of both worlds. Yeah. But if we're going to, once we do the panels, we'll change some of the configuration. The other thing is what I was thinking about. The reason why I decided to do that, because we've got this heat pump behind you, and the heat pump is a three-phase device. So if we put a changeover switch, an isolation switch, a bypass, because if we're going to service the inverter, then we can't suddenly connect the rest of the load to a single phase from a three-phase, because if we put this from a three to a single, it'll blow up. So we can't do that. So we just use the three-phase inverter to power this, which is the three-phase device. And the single phase can power the rest of the place on a load shaving. The other thing is, because this will be using an RCD to protect it, then and it doesn't have any grid feeding, then we can permanently bond the neutral to earth, and that will allow an RCD to work. Yep. So we'll add a permanent bond from neutral to earth on this inverter. We'll put the power socket at that, so this will only power this, and the upper inverter, which is also an 8 kilowatt inverter, will be in bi-directional mode. Yep. And that's quite a nice system, and it can be used for either one. So don't forget, we're going to make sure we're going to put all the earthing on all the batteries, put common earth. Yeah, it's important to earth everything. Yeah. It's absolutely imperative that we earth everything. So I'll let you guys get on with it. No problem. I think just because this will make it much easier. We don't have to rewire the whole consumer unit now. Okay. All right, let's get on with it. We'll test it later.